Major breaking news. There's a coup happening right now in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast right now is on fire. People are burning down houses. Alassane Ouattara, the Ivory Coast president, he's missing. He's nowhere to be found. Nobody knows if he's dead or alive. It's like the people are fed up of his government and they are trying to overthrow him. And also they have shut down the internet in Ivory Coast. The people of Ivory Coast right now don't have access to the internet. They won't be able to post news about what is going on in Ivory Coast as we speak right now. This is a revolution that is taking place in every part of African countries. I mean, Ibrahim Traore has been an eye-opener to the African youth and to some well-meaning African leaders. This coup that is taking place in Ivory Coast, I would call it a revolution. So the people of Ivory Coast, if you have access to the internet, please update us on what is happening in Ivory Coast.
Panic has gripped Ivory Coast capital, Abidjan, as gunfire echoed across the city in what appears to be the early stages of a military coup or large-scale civil uprising. Reports emerging from the ground and social media suggest a volatile and fast unfolding crisis, with government visibility fading and internet access reportedly cut off across the nation. Over the past 48 hours, at least 33 people are fired dead as clashes intensified in key areas of the capital. The unrest follows widespread dissatisfaction with President Alassane Ouattara's administration, accused of several human rights abuses, increasing poverty, and maintaining deep ties with French influence, a long-standing source of nationalist resentment, while official confirmation remains elusive due to an alleged internet blackout and media shutdown. Speculation on social platforms, most notably from X, formerly known as Twitter, users Mehmet Vefa Daga, claims President Ouattara is either missing, arrested, or possibly deceased. No public appearance or official statements have been made since the violence erupted in Ivory Coast. So this is not Ivory Coast's first encounter with instability. The nation has previously endured a 1999 coup, civil wars from 2002 to 2007, and 2010 and 2011, and a military mutiny in 2017. So today's event bear an unsettling resemblance to past crises, raising fears of a full-scale civil war erupting in one of West Africa's key economies. Protesters accuse the Ouattara's led government of being a puppet of foreign powers, particularly France and the US, with growing criticism aimed at the recent expansion of AFRICOM presence in the region. Critics argue this military partnership marks deeper geopolitical interests that further destabilize the Sahel states. Also, national broadcasts are down and no verified updates have been issued by state authorities. International organizations and embassies are reportedly on high alert, urging their citizens to shelter in place. Ivory Coast future hangs in the balance as the world watches what could be a pivotal moment in the country's and Africa's political awakening. In case you don't understand what is happening, unconfirmed reports are emerging of a possible coup, like I said earlier, attempted in Ivory Coast, which is known as Côte d'Ivoire. Tensions are reportedly high in Abidjan, with military presence observed around key government installations and heavy gunfire reportedly in and around the city. We equally saw videos of Ivory Coast citizens chanting, saying that yes, the coup is successful, which indicate that the militaries of Ivory Coast might have taken over the leadership of Ivory Coast government. What is your opinion, my lovers? There are so many things going online because of this particular coup, or let's say this political riot or crisis which has been going on since yesterday, since 2 days ago, 19th of May 2025, and today we are still hearing about this coup in Ivory Coast. Since these 2 days that this particular chaos emerged in Ivory Coast, the president of Ivory Coast is nowhere to be found. People are now guessing that maybe the man has been arrested or he is already deceased. Who knows the whereabouts of this president? I equally saw a news that is circulating online at Abidjan, Ivory Coast. A tragic incident occurred on Tuesday, which happens to be on May 2025, when General Alassane Ouattara, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Côte d'Ivoire, was shot at while leaving a meeting with Minister of Defense, Mr. Tinubu Ouattara. According to Abidjanet, citing Coacom, General Ouattara was promptly evacuated to the military hospital, but unfortunately died during transit. Eyewitnesses, including a gendarme at the scene, reported that the windows of the cars was hit by multiple bullets. Also, Ivory Coast equally suspend all international and national flights alongside a travel ban on government officials until further notice. What is your opinion regarding this? Watch many people's reaction and contribution towards this recent coup, which is going on in Ivory Coast. Feel free to drop a opinion in the comment section. People are speculating that this is fake news. The more they say this is fake news, the more news from Ivory Coast is coming out. The more the citizens of Ivory Coast are telling you that this coup is successful. What is your opinion? Africans has woken up. Even Ousmane Sonko, who happens to be the Prime Minister of Senegal, equally met with Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. According to him, he announced on Burkina Faso national television that Senegal will no longer host foreign ministry bases by July this year. In an interview with Burkina Faso's national television station, Sonko stated that his administration has taken steps to assert sovereignty, citing the removal of foreign military bases as a key example. We cannot allow foreign military bases in Senegal. We have notified all countries with military bases in Senegal to withdraw their troops, Sonko emphasized. Like what is happening to Macron. Macron has done anything possible to, remain in Senegal, but Senegal government has, remained stand and firm in their decision that they don't need any foreigners military base in Senegal. What is your opinion, my corporate people? Them also noting that there is also a heavy protest going on in Cameroon. Cameroon citizens has woken up demanding that their president, the old man president, should resign. He should vacate office. They are giving him time to vacate office, else he will not accommodate what is coming. I love this spirit that has woken Africans' mindset and to know that it is time to take it by fire by force. Enough of all these political puppets in the hands of the Westerners. They are only after our natural resources. They don't care if we are living properly, we are not living properly. They only care about what they're getting from us. Imagine Burkina Faso hitting like $18 million in less than a year that this man emerged as the president of Burkina Faso under the military regime against $1 million that normally gain from companies that mine gold in their state, or let's say in their country. Nigerians, wake up. What are you waiting for? Can't you vote out your old man in power? What exactly is going on? Other Africans are waking up. What is wrong with you, Nigerians? Nigeria, wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Coup d'etat in Ivory Coast. So allegedly, there is coup d'etat currently happening in Ivory Coast. Alassane Ouattara government is currently being overthrown. I'm trying to confirm from some of my guys in Ivory Coast, but for some reason, I have sent a message to everybody or anybody I know in Ivory Coast, and none of them has been able to reply me. I'm told they've shut down their network just to prevent the news from coming out. According to my source, the army chief general has been assassinated by the coup plotters because he's snitching to France. He's trying to alert France to come in and shut down the revolution so that this man can stay in power. Guys, these are all based on speculation. I don't have any concrete evidence. I'm still trying to gather more evidence. But you see, I want this guy out of power. This guy is a dictator. He's a big puppet of France. I've spoken a lot about this guy. He's a puppet of America. He's a puppet of, the West. You see, this guy was not supposed to even become the president of Ivory Coast because of the constitution of Ivory Coast. Because his age was more than the age limit you are supposed to be before you run for president in Ivory Coast. Then, after France overthrew Laurent Gbagbo, they told the people of Ivory Coast that, look, you see, this guy is the only guy who can stabilize Ivory Coast because of the instability that you guys are currently in. Let this guy run for just one term. After he ran for one term, we will take him out of office. Then you guys will choose whoever you want. Then the people of Ivory Coast said, okay, let him run. He's just going for one term, right? Then France said, oh yes, he's going for one term. They asked America, he's running for only one term, eh? They said, yes, he's running for one term. Then they brought this guy in. So France said, okay, he'll run for only one term. America said he'll run for only one term. African Union accepted. The people of Ivory Coast accepted only one term. 4 or 5 years, he's gone. That's all. That was what France said. They brought this guy in. When this guy's first term was almost over, he appointed somebody. He said, okay, after I am gone, my vice president will take over. The people of Ivory Coast said, no, that was not the agreement. You said you were running for one term. You didn't tell us that you were going to appoint somebody. He said, no. Oh, I'm only appointing this person to take over my political party when I'm not there. So I'll present the person to you guys, then you vote for him. Then the people of Ivory Coast said, okay, this sounds like democracy, right? They accepted. We don't know what happened. This person, this guy, chose to take over, died. This guy came out and told everybody that because the person I appointed to take over Ivory Coast is dead, so I can't hand over the country. I have to continue. And people of Ivory Coast said, no, that's not democracy. We don't give a damn about whoever you appointed. He said, no, I can't hand over the country to anybody. I've worked so hard to stabilize this country. I can't hand over the country to anybody. Then this guy decided to go for another term. Now, according to the constitution of Ivory Coast, you can't run for more than 2 terms. This is the case in most of the so-called, democratic countries in Africa. Here, you can only run for 2 terms, 10 years or 8 years. This guy went for another term. When he went for another term, he appointed somebody again to the people of Ivory Coast that, look, when I am not there, I want this guy to take over. Because I've worked so hard to make this country, the Ethiopia of Africa. So I can't just hand it over to anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, the person this guy appointed again died. He also died. We don't know what happened. It seems like somebody is getting rid of. I hope what I'm thinking is not the actual case or what actually happened, but I don't understand why anytime this guy appoints somebody to take over, the person died. How? It doesn't make any sense, right? I hope everybody know where this is going. He's going to run for another more term because the person he appointed to take over the country is dead again. I was in Ivory Coast by then. There was a lot of tension in Ivory Coast by then. A lot of people were not happy. And the most important thing, Alassane Ouattara has become a tool for France to use against our darling boy in Burkina Faso. This guy has become a tool. You've heard this a million times. They are trying to take down Captain Ibrahim Traore. Assassination attempt failed. Most of the assassination attempt came from Ivory Coast. Anytime they arrest somebody in Burkina Faso, there's Ivory Coast for intelligence among them. When I say intelligence, I mean they have people who are part of their CIA, whatever they call it in Ivory Coast. They have people who are part of those who are trying to take down Captain Ibrahim Traore. You think this is coincidence? No. The last time Ivory Coast had somebody who was the last time Burkina Faso had somebody who was transforming Burkina Faso, it was Ivory Coast who sponsored the coup d'etat. So this is no coincidence. They've done it before. I'm talking about Thomas Sankara. Ivory Coast was the mastermind behind Thomas Sankara assassination. I have to end it here because the more you talk about these things, the more likely it is for them to take down your videos. But by the way, I hope TikTok don't take down this video. It's very, very frustrating to create videos like this and TikTok will take it down. Please make sure to hit on the like button, share to family and friends before they take it down. I don't know. Guys, don't forget to hit on the like button and share to family and friends. Shalom. See you guys in the next episode.
On veut que tous les candidats soient inscrits sur la liste électorale. Le président A major breaking news from Ivory Coast, Abidjan, La Côte d'Ivoire. Ivorians have taken to the streets of Ivory Coast, demanding the step down of Alassane Ouattara, the president, and they are declaring their opinion, saying, "We have enough of dictatorship, corruption, poor governance, and bad leadership." And they are saying that the puppet will never and must never be our president again. We refuse to accept him. He must leave. Ivory Coast today is intensifying because the leader, the president, has been under a custody of these citizens, and they are demanding that he step down immediately because internal military coup is trying to take over or to spark in Ivory Coast. And for that matter, the citizens have taken to the street demanding the step down of Alassane Ouattara, the president, immediately, because the France is backing him up. And he's no more where he's not to be found in Ivory Coast as we are talking right now. A major news.
I don't know how this is true, but it is being rumored that there is a coup in Ivory Coast. And at the moment, we actually do not know anything. We are just hearing there is a lot of information coming out that there was an internal coup in Ivory Coast and there is no internet. The internet has been switched off, and it is alleged that it was an internal coup by the military who are now taking over the government. So we actually do not know how true this information is, but we are hoping that it is a true information that now Alassane Ouattara, a person who has been a threat to Ibrahim Traoré, is being ousted out of Ivory Coast, and the African nations are now rising. So at the moment, we actually do not have a lot of information. I've heard this from South Africans, I've heard this from the people from Senegal, I've heard from so many people who are now posting and coming out. But now the problem is Ivory Coast doesn't have internet as we are talking now, but as the news come in, I'll keep you updated. But we are hoping that this is true because you know Alassane Ouattara has been a threat to Ibrahim Traoré, trying to take him down.
There are more and fresh details emerging over the alleged coup that took place yesterday in Ivory Coast. Of now, the reports that we have is that the president of Ivory Coast is already captured by the military, of which that is still an allegation. The real news is that the chief general in Ivory Coast was killed by the military since he was working against what the military had planned against the government. Now, you see, the president of Ivory Coast is so instrumental in destabilizing the security in the Sahel state, also in the West African states. And due to that, people got angry in Ivory Coast and they planned, particularly the military planned for a coup which was to overthrow the current sitting president. As you all know, this president have been working so closely by both France and the West, and it's the same president that have been receiving funds and money to destabilize the security in the northern part of Burkina Faso and some parts of Nigeria and also the Sahel states. He's also the same president that is said that is the key puppet of the West in the Sahel region. Now,
oh, pays de l'AS. On a sur la force spéciale. La force spéciale. Yes. La force spéciale qui gagne. Ah, c'est nous qui nous donne ça. La force spéciale. Bon, on dit en paix là, grâce à Dieu. Voilà. La force spéciale. La force spéciale. La force spéciale. Appréciée.
Une grande nation comme la Côte d'Ivoire, il n'y a pas de pompiers. Il n'y a pas de pompiers, enfin bouche, il n'y a pas de pompiers. Il n'y a pas de pompiers. Un seul pompier pour cette flamme. Un seul pompier pour cette flamme. Tous ces villes à partir en fumée. Mais vous savez, en cette période de fête, en cette période où il y a beaucoup de marchandises, où il y a assez de marchandises, où il y a beaucoup de marchandises. Regardez comment est-ce qu'ils vont éteindre le feu. Comment est-ce qu'ils vont éteindre ce feu-là. Tous ces marchandises ont fumé. Et Dieu.